Hi everybody, it's Anna. Welcome to a new tarot story this week. We start this week with the Tuesday card, and for that we have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight is the action taker of the court cards, and wands are associated with the element of fire, and they're about feeling confident and inspired and impassioned. So this card feels very high energy, right? You can see the horse is actually rearing up on its hind legs, ready to go, right? There's a lot of power, a lot of energy. So it's not just about feeling passion because it's the Knight, it's about taking action steps that match that passion. So this can be really exhilarating and a lot of fun and a lot of joyfulness, right? The way it can be a challenge, though, is this is such a high momentum card that the part of our mind that is created to protect us and keep us safe might bolt at this, might get very nervous around this. And that's because if you're trying to be safe on the planet, you do it in a cautious way. You're careful, you're slow, you study everything before you do it. And actually, that ideally you wouldn't change anything at all. Because if you're in a place that's safe, you want to stay in this place altogether. So a mind that's about survival, which our minds are created to do, keep us safe on the planet, will value structure over expansion, right? Stay in the structure you know and don't move. The challenge, if you are a person who is expansive, is that doesn't work. You have to, structures are good for a while, but then at some point you outgrow the structures and you have to move past them. And I feel like there is something about the Knight of Wands which feels dangerous and destructive to the mind. And on one level, that's true, because passion, when it grows too big, or inspiration or confidence, does often blow up old structures. But by the time you blow them up, they weren't supporting you any longer. So that's the perspective of the intuition, right? Like, I'm here to do this great thing. This structure's in my way. We're going to blow past it, right? But to the mind, it can feel like you're blowing up something that's keeping you safe and keeping things stable. So consider where your passion is leading you, and what are the action steps that are coming up for you, because the Knight is about taking action, right? But also notice where the stuck part, where the resistance to that is. Consider where the fear is coming up and the anxiety. So we don't want to ignore it. The anxiety, the mind's part of us, and we want to pay attention to it, but we want to kind of challenge it a little, asking the questions. What's dangerous about this? What's the bad thing that can happen? And sometimes the mind has an actual disagreement that comes from a place of safety. My mind has done that, where it said, well, yeah, that's a cool idea, but what if this? And it'll show me where I'm not really thinking through, being more cautious or careful, right? But oftentimes the mind is scared of change itself. And so it can't tell you what the bad thing is going to happen, but it'll tell you that it's afraid something bad's going to happen. That deserves attention too. But we want to make clear, we want the mind to be clear that what it's scared of is not an actual thing out there. It's scared of the unknown, and helping the mind, learn to make peace with the fact that if you are a creator, if you're an expander, part of the journey is you're regularly kind of stepping into the unknown, and we want the mind to help navigate a path around that, so the mind isn't constantly fighting with it. Because if the mind's fighting with this, is a really big energy. If the mind's also pushing against this is going to be a very frustrating feeling of push-pull, engage, disengage. And we're going to lose a lot of energy that way, because you're fighting yourself, right? And you can't win. If you're fighting yourself, you can't win. So consider what is happening internally, where are the fears coming up, and see if you can be kind to those fears, gentle, listen to them. Listen to the mind tell you what its concerns are, and see if you can help the mind realize either you address the actual danger the mind's coming up with, or help the mind realize that what it's scared of isn't a real danger. It's not actually in the world. It's the fear of what's going to happen next, and the only solution to that is helping the mind walk in faith and trust the intuition to guide, which ends up being the solution to anyone who's a creative intuitive, is the mind learns how to walk in faith more completely. So that's today's card. See you tomorrow for our next one.